Now that we've isolated the cylinder, the next thing we need to do is a compression test.
And in order to do a compression test, Chase is going to have to remove the coil. Once he's got the coil out of there, you want to take an air blower and blow a little bit of dirt around the spark plug. And that's just going to make sure no debris falls down into your cylinder. Now while he's getting the spark plug out and installing his compression gauge, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things to get the motor ready for that compression test. One of the first things I need to do is remove this air ducting and clamp the throttle plate wide open. This is a drive-by wire, so I'm simply just going to reach down here, open it with my fingers, put a little clamp in there, a soft clamp not to damage that throttle body, and let the air run into the cylinders. I also want to disable the ignition system. We don't want the car to crank. We want it to go through 4 compression strokes as we turn it over. So I remove the fuse for the ignition system, and it's important that the car is up to operating temperature. So go ahead and crank it over and we'll show them what's going on. What's going to happen is on that first puff, that first compression stroke, we should have about half the total compression. Then we'll go ahead and run it through 4 strokes. Go ahead, crank it over. That's great. We got about 100, 125 PSI. That's good. If compression was high, suspect maybe carbon on the cylinders, something milled heads that raise the combustion pressure in that cylinder. If compression is low across all the cylinders, that's a good indication that you have a vacuum problem. And if you have compression on 2 adjacent cylinders that are low, that's a good indication that there's a blown head gasket. Run this test. It's a good way to check the sealing capabilities of the cylinder. Next test we'll run is a cylinder leakage test.